Good morning, live to you from my treatment room at 10:10, which is very interesting. I just wanted to talk to you today about one of the essences that I've actually made for myself and one of the ones that are available on Sunday for other people to make. I have an essence workshop coming up and it's called Kundalini. And if you don't know what essences are, they are vibrational remedies. So they are liquid imprinted with frequencies. It can be flower essences. It can be like homeopathic remedies, can be affirmations, can be stress, can be pain, can be, you know, frequencies around all of those physical things as well. And they are used, the definition is vibrational remedies created from natural sources such as flowers, plants, crystals, or specific energy imprints. That is what they are, and they influence the energy field, the energetic pattern, the emotional and mental aspect of people. However, we can influence physical issues as well. So the Kundalini essence, I'm just going to go through today because it's really, really powerful, and I'm really excited about making my 50 essences today, and this is one of them. So that I can actually start using it on clients and on myself. And you orally take these essences, but in some cases, like there is brandy in it, so an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic, or a child, we can put the essence into the field, and we do that in the past life course. We actually put the essence into the field of the person, into the energy field, into their feeling center. So the Kundalini essence is imprinted with 15 frequencies, all right? I'm just going to go through them very quickly, so it might take a little while, but there's 15 of them, and I want to tell you why and what's in them. So the first one is energy. Energy goes into Kundalini essence, and it's about fueling spiritual and physical growth, awakening Kundalini energy, and promoting vitality. The second one is energetic shield. So being able to shield yourself from other people's energies, EMFs, you know, just the shit that's going on in the world. Protects the energy field, preventing external influences from disrupting the flow of Kundalini. So that's why we put that in there. The third frequency is energetic clearing. So it's about removing these blockages, allowing for the smooth, unhindered rise of Kundalini energy. If you don't know what Kundalini is, it's a Sanskrit term. It's two snakes coiled up at the base of your spine. It's there from conception. And when it is activated, the snakes go up through the chakra system, through the spine, and up to the back of the neck and the head. I'm a Kundalini specialist. This is what I do almost every day. I activate Kundalini in the integrated massage therapy that I do. That's the famous kind of signature treatment for that activation. But, you know, there was 18 months where I actually stopped doing massage because of certain injections that people were putting into their body, and I couldn't activate Kundalini, and I have a really high success rate. So I had to quit for 18 months and just to have a break as well. And yeah, it's amazing what's happened since then, because it's activating in like 50% roughly, or just under, of the students that come in and do my kinesiology course. So the way that it activates is you'll see the body move and shake. You may have seen me on camera doing some healings. You may have seen my massage on camera, so you can see his Kundalini shaking the entire time. So it's an ab clench. It's like a core clench that happens, and Kundalini then shakes out trauma, stress, anxiety from cellular level, you know, trauma that's stored in the subconscious mind, in the body. It's amazing. All right. Frequency number 4 is creativity, right? So creativity is really, really important, especially in the work that I do. So your creativity and motivation comes from the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is all about, is where we store our guilt and shame, or men anyway. So the guilt and shame is stored there. Our motivation and creativity comes from there, but our orgasm also comes from there. So that's creation, right? Orgasm is creation. We can create a baby from, not necessarily orgasm, for a man, we can create a baby, maybe not a woman. And so the inner child chakra is also the sacral chakra. So, so motivation and creativity is really, really important, and it's directly linked to, you know, sexual energy, right? So creativity is about amplifying creative expression, helping Kundalini energy manifest in inspired ideas and actions. So if anyone comes in and says to me, these are the males, you know, I'm just lacking motivation. I'm flatlining in my business. And the first question I ask them is, what's happening sexually? What's happened to you sexually? And what's happened in relationships? Because those things affect your creativity and motivation, taking action and creating new things in life, whether it's a new recipe in the kitchen, creating a holiday, or making products like I do in my business. So it's really important that we access and you know, help that frequency of creativity in the body. The fifth frequency in the Kundalini essence is confidence, self-esteem, and love. So it's instilling trust and self-worth, allowing you to embrace and embody the rising Kundalini with love and confidence. In kinesiology and Chinese medicine and meridian systems, the confidence is in the central meridian at the front, which starts here and runs down between your legs. And it's the essence of who you are. If you were to put yourself in a jar and the essence, or a perfume, the essence of who you are, that's what we're talking about. And a lot of people don't know who they are. They don't know, do we really ever know, right? Of course, but they don't know why they're here. They don't have their purpose. They don't understand what the next step is. There's issues around direction. So it's all about, you know, moving forward, stepping forward. Even if you're feeling like you're in overwhelm, is actually stepping forward. So that's the confidence, self-esteem, and love. Obviously, love is very directly linked to Kundalini and the activation. The next one is abundance, wealth, and success, right? So it aligns Kundalini with prosperity, encouraging the manifestation of abundance in all forms. Now, recently, I was following someone, 888 Hertz was coming up a lot in the work that she does, and I think her group is named that, Eva. And it's something I started to listen to. I started to listen to the 888 frequency, which is wealth and abundance. And my whole life changed. I listened to it every single day. I had it on headphones while I was doing work on the business. It was amazing. And I actually tapped into, I don't know if it's known information, but 888 frequency is Kundalini. So it's wealth and abundance. So that's going in there. The next essence frequency that's going in Kundalini is unlimited creativity. So it's activating boundless creative energy, allowing Kundalini to flow freely and express your true potential. Like I just said, creativity is the sexual chakra. If you have a porn addiction, if you've been abused as a child sexually, if you've been rejected, like, well, it can be once, but most of the time it's a long-term relationship where you're rejected sexually, then you'll have issues with creativity and motivation because it's affecting that part, that chakra, the sexual chakra. So it all comes back to sex. Basically, it comes back to self-love, self-pleasure, being touched, touching others, feeling loved and needed and touched and all of that, because the sexual chakra is the inner child chakra. It's the one and the same, right? And creativity and motivation comes from there. So the next one is the heart chakra. We want to put the frequency of the heart chakra in the Kundalini activation essence. Doesn't mean your Kundalini is going to activate if you take the essence. I haven't trialed it yet. It's just all of these frequencies are in this essence to help my work in what I do. And we're going to start to see, you know, what's actually happening when I start to do some case studies. So heart chakra is balancing the heart chakra, guiding Kundalini energy to flow with love, compassion, and balance. When I do the work that I do in the massage, integrated massage therapy, I'm working from a lot of the time, except for when I'm doing the back, from the feet to the head. In my opinion, that's how the energy flows when we're working with Shakti. So Shakti is Mother Earth energy. It's coming up through the base, through the earth. It's Mother Earth energy. It's feminine energy. So I'm utilizing that energy and I'm becoming a vessel for that energy. I mean, I've got that energy anyway. But when I work on people, I'm not using my own energy because I'll be exhausted. So I'm using that source energy, moving from the feet to the head. And so the doom and gloom chakras, I call them. So the base chakra, which is your safety and survival, depression sits there. The next one above that is your sacral chakra, which is all the sexual dysfunction that I specialize in: porn addiction, erectile dysfunction, sexual abuse, being rejected in relationships. And so guilt and shame sits there. And then the next one up is your power center, which is your solar plexus, just in here. And that's where anxiety and anger come from, and your willpower. So those bottom 3 chakras are, in the first session anyway, is my goal to actually shift the doom and gloom from those chakras up through to the top of the body. And an interesting thing happened. I used to I move and shake, and my Kundalini goes off when I'm working on people all the time. And then I started to get spinal flow a couple of years ago, or last year. No, it's probably a couple of years ago now. Time has flown. And I was on the table and my body was like this, like stuck, if you like right here. And beautiful Rhiannon just said, no, it's stuck. And she just did her little thing. And then after a while, after a few sessions, my elbows and my shoulders started to wiggle. And I knew that the energy was then flowing up to the heart. So that's what I look for now. And it's amazing. So I can actually, I do a little bit like spinal flow. I don't call it spinal flow because I can't. I do my own thing. I'm like a puppet master, and I just pull on people's energy. And I've got one guy that raises up, like his head is in the air, his legs are in the air, and he's like this. His pelvis is on the table, and he's having like full waves of like energy. It's just incredible, the work that I'm doing. So the heart is really important. We're taking the energy, from down the doom and gloom area to the heart, and then back to the feet, and then right up to the top of the head. It's really important that you move sexual energy around the body. Otherwise, it kind of gets caught up in that groin area. That's when men are experiencing premature ejaculation, right? So there's a little bit of a tip. Okay, the next frequency that's in the essence of Kundalini is crown chakra. Crown chakra is at the top of your head, supports the crown chakra, enabling the full rise of Kundalini and connection to higher consciousness. So the crown chakra is all about your higher consciousness, higher self, connection to intuition and the other things that are out there. We also have a number of other chakras above that. So it's like the gateway to those chakras. And again, we want to move the sexual energy away from the groin, and that's what Kundalini is. It's classified as sexual energy, but it's not just sexual energy. It runs up the spine like 2 snakes coiled up at the base of your spine, and when it's activated, it will activate up through the spine. Now, someone that doesn't watch porn and never has watched porn as a regular hobby, let's call it, your Kundalini will activate more organically than someone who does watch porn. And I would almost put money on it that if you watch porn, then your spontaneous or organic Kundalini activation is virtually impossible. And also high blood pressure medication, diabetes medication, and antidepressants. And now we found the vax. No shock there, that Kundalini activation or spontaneously, so it's just happening for you, by you, is virtually impossible. Now, there's a whole lot of people that come to me and say, oh yeah, I've had my Kundalini activated. Or it activated. And I don't want to take away from people's experience of activation, but what I need to look for and the evidence of it happening are the convulsions and the ab clenching and the body starting to move and shake. Without that, and I've seen people that, claim that they've been in this industry for 20 years and stuff, and they're like dead fish on the table. There's no Kundalini activation. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to take away from your experience of what you've experienced, the enlightenment and the life-changing things that can happen, especially in Kundalini yoga and stuff. But we're looking for the body to, start moving and shaking. It's really, really important that we move it then. So if I'm, it's hard for me to do sitting down, but if my abs are clenching, right, I'll just turn on my Kundalini. I don't know if you can see me there, right? So my abs are clenching and I'm shaking. If I need to, so if you slowed me down, it's like a quantum wave going up through. It's like these ones from the like 80s dancing, right? It's a quantum wave, a Shakti energy running up through the body. And we need to get it up to the crown chakra. It's really, really important that we move it through the body. The body will then start to shake. You'll get like a shiver shake happening, and that's trauma release, basically, or anxiety, stress, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so the next one is, I don't know how to say these flower essences, so you're going to have to bear with me. Calcarea sulfurica. is a homeopathic that is in this Kundalini essence. It's known for its ability to aid in detoxification and healing. This ingredient supports the clearing of impurities in both the physical and energetic bodies. It ensures that the Kundalini energy is not blocked by negative accumulated toxins, but instead flows freely and harmoniously. So that's really cool. Or this one's a little bit harder to say. If any of the homeopaths are watching, I apologize. Lachesis mutus. It's an ingredient that helps release the fear and tension that can arise when Kundalini is activated. It supports the clearing of emotional and energetic wounds, and allows the Kundalini energy to rise without fear or resistance, encouraging deep transformation and spiritual growth. So, before I start the massage, I do a connection exercise. So it's called commencement checks, and we do it on all my kinesiology protocols. And I need them to be in their body as much as possible before I activate Kundalini, because it can be like an exorcism, and that's what actually we're looking for, is the body to move and shake. There's screaming, there's crying. People have thrown up. People have like just, you know, puddles of stuff underneath. It's great. I've seen it all. Trust me. Right. So it's really important that we are living in a society where it's not safe. It doesn't feel safe in our bodies because we're under so much stress all the time. And, you know, don't message me and comment underneath saying that's a belief system and stuff like that. We are literally overstimulated. We are desensitized. We're not present in our bodies. We're all addicted to our phones and devices, gaming, porn, drugs, alcohol, caffeine, all of the stuff, right? Now, I study the brain and work in the field of neural addiction. And the amount of people that I'm seeing that have ADHD is ridiculous. We all, and I know there are people out there that have an official diagnosis of ADHD and have since they were young. So again, don't message me. But every single person that I know and come to contact with has the symptoms of ADHD, right? So decision-making, focus, concentration, and memory, those are the big four. Those are the ones that get affected. You get brain damage from gaming, drugs, porn, and phone use, right? So all the teenagers that you think they've got ADHD, it's an overstimulation of the brain, desensitization, and people can't be present in their body because the brain is addicted to dopamine, and the dopamine addiction means they're constantly looking, the brain is constantly looking for a stimulus. That is what dopamine addiction is, and we all have it. Okay, unless there's people that are living in the country. I wish we could go back to the 80s where there was no mobile phones, and, you know, I lived on a farm, so it was amazing. Right, so it's really important that we address the fear that's in, I don't want to say society because it is, we know that, in the body. And so I did a course last week that was all somatic stuff. And the biggest thing that I took away from that was the lack of safety that we feel on a day-to-day basis that we're not addressing and we're not aware of. And the way that we need to work with our nervous systems to actually adjust that constant fear. So it's, you know, constantly scrolling puts the brain into like an overstimulated state. It's as simple as that. You watch a week full of porn and you're going to have a brain addiction already. So this part of the essence is really important because when I do the commencement checks, I also check Kundalini affirmations with kinesiology and inner child affirmations. It's really important that we address the inner child and the trauma at the same time as doing the Kundalini activation, because it is quite full on. You can release so much in one session versus going to a psychologist for, I would say, even 10 years. I can do it in one session. It's really, really powerful work. And it's not for the faint-hearted. Guys sit there and they're like, oh, that's not going to happen to me. Oh, no, my body's not going to move and shake. I can see it in their eyes. They're like, yeah, whatever, sister. And sure enough, and lately it's even more powerful. So I had a bit of a near-death experience recently. I had another gallstone attack. I don't even have my gallbladder because I've had it before, so I knew what it was. Called an ambulance. I was away alone by myself. It was very, very stressful. Very traumatic. The hospital visit was traumatic. Everything was traumatic. But every time these things happened to me, touch wood, that's not a belief system, everything changes in my treatment room because I get out of my way. I get out of my own inhibitions and bullshit, right? And so what I'm starting to see are men lifting off the table, except for their pelvis, basically. I'm having to hold them on the table because they're like shaking so much they're going to fall off. It's incredible, right? This is amazing work, Kundalini. Kundalini activation will stop porn addiction in its tracks instantly, right? Just letting you know. Okay, so we got to address this fear, right? So fear comes up a lot in the Kundalini affirmations that I do with the men. I muscle test Kundalini affirmations to see what's blocking them, to see what we're kind of working with, because someone can talk to me until they're blue in the face. They're just telling me what they remember, what they recall, what they think has happened. They're over and analyzing all of that stuff, right? So I've got to talk to the body, and that's how we do it with kinesiology muscle testing and before this massage session. So when we do this, it often comes up fear. So I explain it to men of there's fears blocking the Kundalini. What's happening there is forget society and what I just talked about, because that's a big problem, right? We're doing too much. We're overstimulated, too many emails. There's not enough time in the day. There's not enough clones. You literally cannot get through anything anymore, right? So there's that. But in terms of the Kundalini, because it's safety, men are afraid, and women, right? But I specialize in men, so don't email me about that. So men are afraid to express themselves fully sexually. Now, I'm not talking about whips and chains, taking control, all of that stuff. It's being vulnerable and going into the heart space, and they can't be present in their body if they have porn usage in their life. They just can't, all right? So their brain is ruling the show. There's a lot of men that masturbate after they have sex with their partners because they're not satisfied, because they're not getting that drug hit from the porn, all right? So it's really, really important that everyone feels safe in sex. And I would guarantee you that most people are going through the motions. They're feeling this stuff, but they're not feeling it how I know it can be felt, right? So if you don't feel like you are upside down, sideways in the bed, let's say, you don't know which way you are, you don't know if you're Arthur or Martha, you feel like you're leaving your body's moving and shaking, you can't breathe, and you haven't even had the intercourse part yet, then you're not doing sex right, okay? So this essence addresses the fear and being able to cry, scream, huff and puff, moan, whatever it is around sex. It's also addressing your partner or partners and how accepting they are. So a lot of the time I hear that, accommodating partners are just showing up to do the deed, to kind of, well, it's that time of the, once a month, let's have sex and get it done. That creates fear in someone's body. They don't feel safe. A man doesn't feel safe approaching a woman around sex if there's just that kind of accommodation happening. And again, women don't feel safe with men if it's all about porn and kind of tapping you on the shoulder and stuff like that. So this addresses that. The next one, the next remedy that is in the Kundalini essence is sulfur. So sulfur is known for its powerful purifying and transformative properties. It aids in the release of stagnant or negative energies that can block the flow of Kundalini. Sulfur helps to clear energetic impurities, allowing the energy to rise smoothly and connect with the higher self. It's a rough ride if you want to come in and get your Kundalini activated, and it's fucking amazing. It's magical exorcism, right? People laugh at me, but if you've been to any of my courses, and some of my students are going to comment under here and say, she's not lying, right? The body moves and shakes, the shoulder wiggles, the head goes. I had a session in the shower this morning where I've had some really stressful stuff happening, and it's really affecting my body. And so I just started saying stuff out loud in the shower, and then off goes my Kundalini, and then I'm chanting and I'm releasing stuff and I'm blocking and releasing energies and attachments and people's shit. And I'm like, and then just for a second, I was making, I was making lots of noise, lots of weird noises, but I was allowing myself to have the safety and comfort and nurturing for myself to allow that to happen. And just for a second there, I was like, I wonder if the neighbor can hear me on the other side of the shower, because we've got townhouses that are, I'm like, I don't care. So you've got to create your own safety here, people, in life. You've got to own your stuff and feel your stuff. The Kundalini is just waiting there to activate in people, and we just do everything in our power to stop that from happening, and to feel comfortable in our bodies, to let it do. You know, animals that get chased by lions lay down, if they live, for 20 minutes and shake. They shake it all out, right? So then they can get up and do it all again the next day. Humans do not do that. We hold on to stuff like we're hoarding our emotional trauma, and it stores in the body. And so shaking is so, so important. And if you're feeling stressed, just start shaking. And if you know how to activate your own Kundalini, or it's been activated by someone before, then off you go, right? It's really important. Right, the next one, this is the 13th frequency that's in this essence, and it's called Gelsemium. It's about the movement of energy through the nervous system, easing any fear or tension related to the awakening of Kundalini. So it helps in calming the nervous system, promoting a smooth and balanced flow of energy, and enables you to embrace the process with calmness and clarity. You should see what I see. I wish I had cameras in here, but it's just totally wrong, and I get that. But I will be doing some filming, and I'm going to ask these generous people to volunteer, because crazy shit happens to their body that you would not believe. And the change in the face of the person after the session is mind-blowing. And I wish I could take a photo of before and after. They just look completely different. They look younger. Some of them look like children. Like, obviously they're an adult male, but they look like children. It is mind-blowing what I see. Right, so the second last one is walnut. Walnut is an essence, excellent support for energetic transitions, helping to protect and guide you through the process of Kundalini awakening. It facilitates the release of old patterns and allows for smooth spiritual transformation, protecting your energetic boundaries during the process. So walnut's all about protection. I've got that essence literally behind me. It's protecting you. Like I pretend I'm in a walnut. in a big walnut, and that's how I protect myself, is this hard shell around my Cancerian soft shell smash crab stuff that's happening right now. That's a whole other video. Okay, and the last essence, frequency that's in this Kundalini essence is called aspen. So it helps alleviate the fear and uncertainty that can accompany the awakening of Kundalini energy. If I had $1 for everyone that approached me and said, and it's mostly on email and websites and stuff, that it's not safe to activate Kundalini, that they've heard bad things about it, that they've experienced something that was horrendous. I have an issue with the tantric community, because on my form I ask, have you had a tantric massage before? And the next question is, did your Kundalini activate? And I do that for research purposes, because I don't really care. I mean, I'm going to speak to them anyway. 100% of people that have seen me, that have had a tantric massage, have never heard of Kundalini. Kundalini is the basis of tantric massage. So I'm not really sure what's going on out there, but I've stayed very, very clear of that community. There is a fear around Kundalini activation. I am a practitioner. I have a duty of care. I muscle test things. I make sure you are safe. I check that you're safe. We muscle test that before we start. And if it comes up as a no, we balance that out. You know, just because you turned up here doesn't mean that your body's ready for that, you know. So it's really important that I help people through that as well. So this aspen promotes a sense of safety and trust, allowing you to move through the experience with openness and peace, knowing that the energy is working to alleviate your consciousness to new heights. And it absolutely is. And, you know, I've had men cry a lot in these sessions because they've never felt safety. They've never felt held like that. I had a man recently, the one that went up like this, and you can't see me because I'm on camera, so his head was in the air and his legs were in the air and his pelvis was on the table, and he was like this with his arms back. He looks like Superman. Obviously this is anonymous, so I can speak about it. He had been raped at 9 years old and had never told anyone. And I said to him, you are allowed to yell and scream in here. This room is soundproof. We have checked it a million times. I have women screaming in here all the time, releasing years and years of abuse. And I put him on the table and he screamed like I've never heard a man scream for 20 minutes, if not longer. A bit hard, didn't have the timer going, but it was mind blowing what happened, and I actually started to get concerned. But that's my stuff. That's my perception, that screaming for 20 minutes is concerning. He was releasing, 40, 50 years of crap. And then what happened was I saw, like, do you remember those toys when we were back in the 80s and they were made of fur? They were like fur, leather backed, and you'd stroke them and they'd go like that. When he calmed down, like I was pulling all the energy out and doing all the Kundalini activation and magic that I do. And then when he finally settled, I saw a ripple go down his back. I've never seen that before. And I've been doing this, like I've treated over 6,000 people in person. So I've never ever seen that. So magic happens when I do the work on myself, and when things happen in my life, things start to happen in here. And then I start to attract that frequency of people that are ready to do the work, and they just release all the stuff. And so off goes his Kundalini, and then bam, it was on like Donkey Kong. It was, yeah, this stuff, you just wouldn't believe it unless you saw it. And you're probably going, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. But there's a lot of people doing Kundalini work now, and there's a lot of videos out there, and people are starting to actually see. But if you look in the comments of those videos, you'll see a whole lot of religious people saying this is blasphemy, and, this is the devil's work, and stuff like that. I can guarantee you it is not the devil's work, and I was put on this planet to do this work. So if you're interested in a session, let me know. I can send you some information. But the whole point of me talking about this Kundalini essence is that is just one essence in a set of 10, which is the energetic set that some people are making on Sunday at this workshop. The other ones are clear and protect, grounding, stabilization. It's really important that you stabilize right now, and that's the Egyptian stuff that I do. Transcendence, where we all know what's happening. If I hear the word sending or ascend another time, it's like love and light. Stop saying it. Past life essence, there's soul integration, EMF shield, aura builder, Kundalini, and faith and hope. That's just one set, and we've got 5 sets to choose from on Sunday. I have 3 places left, and I'm not joking. I'm only taking 10 spots, and we've got 7 booked in. So if you want to come along, let me know. It's in Carrum in Melbourne, and it's $185, and you get all the ingredients, all the materials, you get the bottles, everything. And we use the AO scan to imprint those frequencies. So it's a bioresonance device that imprints the frequencies. If you're not sure what that is, go onto my page, and I put a post up a couple of days ago, I think, and I'm in the middle of making 50 of these essences, because once I made them and created all the essence frequencies are muscle tested recipes. So once I've created it all, I was like, oh my God, I need these essences. I need the migraines, headaches. I need the forgiveness. I need this. I need that. I go to a homeopath, and she's amazing. And I'm on headache stuff. I'm on stress stuff. I'm on liver stuff. I'm on all the stuff. And here I am, the connection. Sorry, we lost connection. As soon as you start talking about health, they start freaking out and block your internet connection. I'm sure of it. Okay, so if you'd like to come, I'll put the link in the comments. If you've got any questions about what you watched today, please pop it in the comments. Tell me if you're watching it live or replay. Tell me where you're from, and ask the questions, make comments, talk about your experiences. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.